Hey there, guys. Welcome to another Train Sim Classic video. Searchlight Simulations snuck out Freight Pack '03 in the middle of the night last night. Very, very sneaky spy covert kind of stuff. I like it. Anyway, so that was on the 20th, 4/20/2024, of course. Today is now the 21st. Got my hands on it. Installed it. We're going to take a peek at it here, but how you get to it is go to their website, obviously. Click on the store tab up top. Down low, you'll see all three of them. And there it is, numero trace. If you click on the download button, you'll actually see some information about the pack itself. And then you click download on it. So as of right now, as of filming, it does not actually install. So what you need to do is move a folder inside your Searchlight Simulations folder. And we'll go over that real quick. I'm sure they'll fix this in a matter of hours or a day or two. Who knows? It's Searchlight. They care about their product, of course. But we'll go over that real quick just in case you're having any issues getting these to show up in the game. Okay, so like I said, by the time you may be watching this video, you might be totally fine. It's just a very slight issue at the moment that will very much be fixed, I am certain. But if you can't get the stuff to work in the game, go to where your Railworks location is. Mine, of course, is in Steam Apps, Common, Railworks, and then you're going to go to Assets. So when you install it, you'll see a folder down here that'll say FRT. Of course, I do not currently have it because I have already done this, but right around here, if you've got it alphabetical, of course, you'll see an FRT folder. Either click and drag or Control-C, Control-V. Go ahead and roll on down to Searchlight Simulations and then paste it within the Searchlight Simulations folder. And Bob's your uncle, you're good to go. As you can see, it is right here now, currently highlighted, and there's all the stuff that you'll get, and you should be good to go in game. Like I said, this may be fixed just briefly. If you can't get it to work, this is how you do it. You just take that folder, FRT, drag it in the Searchlight folder. That's it. Let's go ahead and get in and take a look. Righty. So as follows, here's what you're going to get within the free, might I add. This pack is free, like all the other freight packs on Searchlight Simulations storefront. 10,000-gallon tankers. These are JRPX. Next up, you're going to get the ARMN BNSF and CRYX 72-foot reefers. Next up, you're going to get an absolute mess of Centerbeams. 73-foot Centerbeams, random loads, bears, wrapped, and empties. AOK, BNSF, INAR, NDYX, SMW, SMW Red, TTYX, and last but not least, these very beautimous Hydra Cushion SP boxcars, 5258 FMC boxcar. Very, very good looking. So initially, I think some new coal gondolas were supposed to come with this pack as well. But I think the guys at Searchlight decided to kind of go back and rework those just so they'll be a bit more better and freshened up a bit instead of taking something that already kind of existed and then tweaking it. I think they're, I don't want to step on any toes or speak out of line, but they might be inherently brand new or fresh when that comes to fruition anyway. You are also going to get an EOTD as well. So they've included these, I think, with every other pack currently. So you'll get the EOTD to use with, so you can have correct, air, obviously, air simulation and things like that. Some locomotives and rolling stock, you'll be able to do the little pop-up box where you can see the tonnage of your train and things like that. That goes along nicely with the EOTD, of course. But you'll get this in every pack. And again, this is pack 3. So what they are going to do with Freight Packs 1 and 2 is they have yet to be updated as well. So what they're going to do is basically make this pack as compatible as possible with 1 and 2 by updating 1 and 2's sounds, their air hoses, couplers, angle cocks, stuff like that. All kinds of stuff, which they hope to bring to pack 1 and 2 to freshen them up, just to get them in line with the newness of these. I know that was a lot more words than it should have been, but it's Searchlight. I get excited. So reason being, I mentioned them updating packs 1 and 2 to be in line with this pack. Number 3 is some things have been updated. So we've got updated coupler mesh, aka model, as well as textures, which we are looking at here, which look very lovely. New air hoses as well, which you can see there, which again look good. But not only that, the angle cocks. Look how nice that model is. Yeah. That is very spicy. I know it's but a very small piece on a very large object and, you know, in a train sim, but still, that looks pretty damn good. And they further tweaked the audio as well. So we'll have a listen to that in just a moment. But all this stuff will be updated in pack 1 and 2 when they get around to doing that, because they got a lot of stuff on their plate as of late. But we'll go ahead and take a look at these chonkers. First and foremost, we've got some friggin' Centerbeams. We haven't had any good representations of Centerbeams ever, I don't think. I mean, we've had some decent ones that have come from, I want to say G-Tracks maybe, many years ago that have been just kind of rehashed and used over and over again. But now you've got a whole plethora. I mean, this is essentially a Centerbeam paradise. Just don't let Norfolk Southern know about it, because you know what happens with them and Centerbeams. But first of all, this is TTYX. Again, the texturing looks very nice. So it's good enough, you know, when you're at a decent distance, but it's not over the top, you know, where if you've got your face up against it like that, where it doesn't really matter because no one runs train sim like this anyway, but it keeps it low enough that it's easy on your system, right? So you back up just a little bit and that looks perfect. I mean, they look legit. They've got just that right amount of weathering. They, you know, they don't look ultra clean. They don't look ultra dirty. They still have a little bit of pop to them as far as the color and the brightness and things like that. You know, it doesn't have that weird shading or shadowing underneath the rail cars like some stuff does within Train Sim Classic. It's just a damn good looking model. I mean, these things look very good. It's got all the appropriate numbers and, you know, labels and stickers and all kinds of, you know, crap that the FRA and everybody else requires on rail cars these days. But it's just a damn good looking model. And this, of course, is just one of them. This is TTYX. And you're going to get a ton of wraps. So not only did I mention you're going to get wrapped loads, you'll get bare loads, and then, of course, you can use empty ones as well. So these here, of course, are Sierra Pacific Industries, Plum Creek, Abitibi, Consolidated, Abitibi, any say that? Benetton. And then here's some bears. And look at that, man. That looks like plywood, doesn't it? These loads look very nice. Very nice. Even got the plastic strapping on there, or the paint, if you will. And then here's an empty with the straps going in and around the beams, hooked up to the beams themselves. I mean, look at this thing, man. This is a work of art. This could be hung in a museum. And then you've got all the rubbing on the inside, on the end plates down here. Just look at that, man. Details. This is why Searchlight Simulations is Searchlight Simulations, I guess. Yeah, it's, you know, you come to expect good stuff from them, and they oftentimes deliver every time. Oftentimes, every time. Down here, we've got Roseburg, and these are the SMWs, by the way. Over here, we got Tolko. Whoop, almost ran into that one. Some Boise, and these are different colors, by the way. So the SMW blues are down here, and the SMW reds are down here. More Tolko, and these change every time. So I don't know if there's a specific way that you can get a specific wrap if you want. You know, there may be. You may just need to keep placing cars down until you get something you like. But anyway, some bare loads, blue and red, and then empties, blue and red. Zoop back down here. Here we have the NDYX. This is Umpqua Valley Lumber. I have no clue what that is, if I'm honest. Bennett again. Down here we have Enter 4. And these look so good, man. This plastic wrapping, it's got that squared like texture on it that just looks legit, man. These look really, really, really nice. And then you got a barrel load and an empty load down yonder. We'll go on down to these. We have the IANR Bennett again, a B2B, a TBTB. I have no clue how to say that. Hampton Lumber. Those look nice as well. I don't think I've actually really noticed these yet. Those look good. Bennett again, Bear and Empties. We got BNSF, the old sniff, Bennett, Telco, Weyerhaeuser. Know that name, Telco, Bears and Empties as well. And then last but not least, A-OK. Oh, here we go. Georgia Pacific. I see that quite a bit down here. We got some more Boise. Into 4. And then Bears and Empties again. So you've got just a stupid, obscene, unnecessary amount of Centerbeams and loads to work with here. I mean, and by golly, these are gorgeous as usual. Like just the coloring on these and the textures and the way the paint looks and the, you know, just the weathered visuals of this stuff is always on point. And of course, down here we got these little 10K little tiny chunker tankers, and again, they look really good. So this might be the first time that these have been in Train Sim Classic. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. I oftentimes am. Will be the first to admit that, as usual. I do recall, gosh, I can't remember the developer's name. He made like some old GEs. He made a GP40. The name very much eludes me right now. He made some shorty tankers back in the day. I vaguely remember those. I think I had those. I think I still do. But that was it. I mean, as far as the shorty market. So this is all new, man. Complete with blue axle caps and things. Look good, man. You can see the venting equipment all over. Oh, this is just another great looking model. The handrails, the lettering, still, again, it's got just that nice amount of weathering, and it just looks like old stressed metal, you know. It's kind of got that sheen on it, you know, like the oil and water mixed in a puddle kind of look to it. They just look good. It's just, so you kind of see it in the glare of the sun there. Just that stressed metal look. Like it a lot. Tons of numbers, you know, regulation type things, weights, JRPX on there, all kinds of stuff. Again, just really, really good looking rail cars. These are cool too because it's unique. This is a very unique pack, to say the least. It's got one of the strong boy couplers as well, like a lot of tanks do. Let's see. Handbrake looks very nice. Yeah, you just, you know, it's just a little fun 10K shorty, you know, tanker. It's just a little baby tanker. Looks good though. And down here to the reefers. So, you know, I know the Centerbeams are kind of like the star of this pack, if you will, I guess you could say. But I like the reefers, man, and I've always liked the reefer back when it was included many years ago, from when Searchlight initially released the BNSF one, and they had another one. What was the other one? I think it was ARMN, maybe? So it might have been BNSF and UP. But you've got a lot of options now, and these two are randomized. So these came out from Searchlight many years ago, and I don't remember if they were in a pack or you had to download them separately. This was before their big freight packs, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, they've kind of updated these to bring them up to the standard with a lot of the newer stuff from themselves, and just touched them up a lot more. But damn, these things look good, man. Just that kind of 3D look on the side, the kind of stressed metal look again. It's more so in the texturing of it and not the model. But when you're looking at it like that, man, it fits. It looks like sheet metal. It's kind of doing the rolling thing, like gentle waves on the ocean. But the coloring, again, is on point. At the colored handbrake back there. And these will change as well. So they're kind of randomized like our Centerbeams back there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a minute. Gorgeous door. Cryotrans. We have the bean sniff. And then down the ARMN Uncle Petey. And just, oh, look at that. Now, I do remember initially when these things came out that they had sounds from the actual little generator in there, the refrigerator mechanical bits. You could actually hear them running. I'm not hearing that now. I'll have to hook up to this train over here in a minute when we listen to the sounds and just, see if anything happens. But let's go over here. We'll kind of go over some of the randomization of these. So some of these are supposed to have like graffiti and stuff. I may have to place them back down. Yeah, because this was from a prior thing when I set all these down, and then they released them, so I had to put the new folder in, and so it may not have copied over. But I think some of these are supposed to have graffiti and be a bit different. Yeah, because when you place them down, it'll kind of randomize it a bit. So let me, at least I'm sure that's supposed to happen. So I'll have to double check on that. And then, of course, you've got the Southern Pacific Hydro Cushion boxcars. Again, these things look crusty, man. Look at the old corroded metal and the ribbed sides, double doors. This is the epitome of a boxcar right here. This is it. This is the mountaintop. Gorgeous, gorgeous looking boxcar. I'd love to see a ton of other stuff like that with this unique roof as well. Just good looking stuff, man. This is the pack. This is the pack. You get quite a bit of stuff. We'll go back and check out these reefers because there are supposed to be some differences, if I'm not mistaken. If I am not mistaken. But first, let's take a listen to the sounds. So they've updated the sounds on these things. And we're just going to have a listen at them right here. So I got some of the old Uncle Pete SD40-2s. And first things first, we will just back up on this cut that's sitting back here. Just listen to some creeping and groaning and stress sounds, and then the coupling sounds, of course. So let's go ahead and back up on it. So throw it in reverse. Cut them brakes off. And I have the sound up quite a bit, so we should be able to hear it. Give her a couple notches just to get us moving. Oh yeah, that was different. That initial groan, I haven't heard that yet. All right, we'll get up to about 2 miles an hour, and then I'll bring it back down to idle. There we go. She's back in idle. Now that's just a Train Sim Classic thing. You guys know that whenever you get a train near some cars, random cars sitting on a track, they kind of shift. It's annoying, but it's always going to be a thing. That's just a game limitation, a core issue, sadly. That's what I'm talking about, man. Those are some rail car sounds right there. That sounds bananas. All right. We'll air it up a little bit. Throw the independent brake on, throw it back forwards. We'll go ahead and drop the train brake. Give her a couple notches. Let them revs and amps pick up. Drop the independent. And we'll just listen to this thing roll through the different speeds and whatnot. because these sounds have always been good. They started out a certain way, the railcar sounds from Searchlight, and then they edited them when the BNSF SD40-2 pack came out, and that freight pack, they kind of had a new sound then, and so I think they've been updated and changed and tweaked a little bit. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. That is a good sound. I like it. So yeah, this is like the third or fourth time that they've kind of edited the railcar sound. So let's just sit here. I'll shut up for a minute, and we'll just sit here and listen to these things. Oh, and it wraps it up with a flat spot. Tell me those sounds are not phenomenal. Oh my God, they sound so much better. They've always sounded good, but they've just further tweaked them, smoothed them out. Use your words, Sean. I'm trying to. They've cleaned them up. So there used to be these issues with kind of, a sound dissipating, and then it would it'd show up again, and then it would dissipate. And now it's just this smooth transition all the way through the entire train, each and every rail car. There's no like cutting. If some of you guys remember those sounds, but again, I think some of that was to do with the core game itself. I also noticed I'm not hearing any of the reefer sounds as well. That was always kind of cool from the old reefers that they had back in the day. You could hear, the actual compressor running, keeping the inside of the car cool. Again, I kind of understand why they may not have gone with that. So the way the Train Sim Classic works is you've only got so many audio channels to work with, right? And when you have fantastic sounds like Searchlight and, other modders and things like that tend to use, they start filling up some of these audio channels, right? You start having multiple trains on the map, you run out of audio channels for these sounds, and so they just stop playing, and then you end up with just a completely silent game world or train or something like that, and it's just a bit shit. So I kind of understand why they, if that's what they've gone to do is just remove that sound. I don't know, I'm just speculative purely, of course, but maybe that's what it is, and I'm totally cool with that, because the entirety of that train went by making a sound. And I know there's been issues in the past of trains kind of cutting out when you've got too much going on the present world and things like that. So if that's what's going on, it's understandable as well. So this thing is getting up to speed. It's going over 30. Yes, we're hitting switches at 30 going out of the yard. We're on Cajon Mojave, by the way. Very lovely route. We'll let this thing get up to speed, and then we'll listen to it again as it's flying by. All right, here we go. We're doing about 33 mile an hour on the main line now, headed west. See what it sounds like. Well, they sound good. And let's dump the air. How about that? That's an e-brake app. Holy hell. That's probably the best sound set yet, is when you're slammed on the brakes like that. You could just hear the different phases of the rolling speeds and sounds just all layered and meshed together perfectly. One of the first things I noticed as well when the train went by initially at high speed, before in Train Sim Classic, when you'd have some engines go by and then the rail cars, it would just be the engine sound, and then all of a sudden, bam, it'd just be this cascade of rail car sound. And when this stuff went by, it was just a smooth transition all the way through. So bravo. Holy hell. Alrighty then, so for those that may not be aware of how to use this stuff, say you've just got into Train Sim Classic, you're just finding out about Searchlight Simulations, things like that, to get this stuff in the game, you'll need to go within the editor, scenario editor. Of course, from the menu, you're going to go over to this flyout over here in the middle, click that little box, go over to the right, hit this drop down, go down to Searchlight Simulations, skablam right there. You've got all their stuff, and this pack especially is FRT freight, of course, so you're going to want to click that, and it will load it up within the instance. So from there, you're going to click on the railcar icon, and then you'll see them all right here loaded up. So I've got some other stuff in here from previous you know, packs they've had and stuff like that. But let's see if we can get some, where's the reefers at? Reefer Madness. That's what this pack could be called, Reefer Madness. All right, so ARMN, we'll just plop a couple of these down. You can see the numbers change, BNSF, boom, boom, boom. Now, I think these, the CRYX, so there's a couple now. I think there was just one initially. So here's the CRYX loaded. We'll just pop a couple of those down. Man, those look good. And then, let's see, round R&D load. Oh, it's random. So here, yeah, here they are. Okay, so if you want the regular cryo trans, it's these right here. So I was correct. They did leave it in. Hallelujah. These are randoms, so they'll have little things, randomization, colors. Some look a bit more sun beat and weathered, like that one there. You can tell it's got more of a kind of a tannish color to it. This one down here has got some lovely urban art. I think some of the tops are slightly different as well, or at least I thought they were. I may be off my rocker here. But there are some randomness. I don't know how many randomnesses there are of these, but I want to say there's at least like 4 or 5 maybe. You can see on these there's some funk on the side as well. That dude tagged both of those back to back. And then there's one on that side as well. But it's random, man. Just like the, you know, we'll go ahead and place down some of the center beams here. So we'll go over, let's see. And they're all laid out too. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be completely random if you want. So here's A-OK loaded. So those are random. You see how they just keep changing on and on and on and on. A-OK empty. So those are just string line ready. And then A-OK bare loads. And they're all bare, of course. So they're not going to be different. And then you've got all of those within here as well. TTYX or TTZX, SMW, NDYX, INAR, BNSF, A-OK, etc. You got your boxcar right here. All pretty self-explanatory if you've ever messed with this stuff in Train Sim Classic before. But that's it, guys. Searchlight Simulations released Freight Pack O Trace numero 3. It's been a long time coming. Can't wait to see what they're cooking up next. But it's out, guys. It's free. Go get it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Just go get it. It's awesome. And it's free. Thanks for watching. See you later.